6 a.m. on this Friday, November 7th, 2025, and keeping it real as my content always shows that once again of the evolution of the rainmaking machine system. We are, or have been, receiving the fallout from yesterday's and last night's operations, of which I have shown many times now, in which, once again, they claim that this does not occur nor happen in the state of Michigan. We've seen all the signs through yesterday's recordings that led up to this fallout scenario. Now I want to go just a little bit further, because while watching our local news this morning, there was a short pop-up of headline information, if you will, that thunderstorms can bring on the symptoms of asthma. Okay? Now, in past content, I've spoken of upper respiratory issues and that of the activities in the skies. Furthermore, I also believe that there is something that is being added to the skies and to the fallout that occurs, regardless if it is in this form or down to just a bare minimum of mistiness that is affecting people's memories. Okay? And this is only my opinion here, as being an observer, especially of my own self, of how my memory seems to be glitching, if you will, to where I'm having issues remembering the days of the week. So, like, and I cannot, I'm not sure if it was the anchorman or the weatherman this morning within that local news programming that almost stated that today was Wednesday. He corrected himself as soon as he got to that Friday. And so, being, once again, an observer, I noticed this. And it really perked up my attention, because I've also noticed this while watching other content on this platform and people having confusion. People, this is part of that reset movement that occurs. Forgetfulness, forgetting the past. And, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. But anyways, this fallout is to clear, here in a couple more hours, 3 hours, give or take. And we are to have partly sunny, partly cloudy skies, and within the 50-degree Fahrenheit mark area, at which, well, meteorologist says, but you know, it could get so much warmer. Once again, indicating that they don't know what to expect, and they're just going by what they are being told through these 3 different weather agencies, one of them being NOAA. It's all scripted, okay? And to just, you know, I guess keeping in line with that George Floyd mentality and how people are being affected through today's technologies, it's really sad to where you have a so-called football player that breaks the law, tries to avoid an escape away from the police through a pursuit, if you will, and ends up offing himself. And what occurs? A whole football arena takes some time for a moment of silence for this guy that not only broke the law, but offed himself. A whole football stadium full of people, or spectators, as it is known within the sports arenas, to take a moment of silence. Now, what kind of mentality is that? And what kind of a brainwashing technique is that, to where you're going to start honoring people that off themselves? Is that why we continue going on and on about Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, no, wait. He didn't do that, right? I don't know. It's just something more that, once again, I observed, and I have to state my opinions over it. It's just getting very crazy anymore. But I do have my outside light on, and that is why we are seeing everything as it is. Otherwise, we would be looking at this. Okay? I don't know if this is bothering people or whatever. Me flashing my light. They can scratch their arse and get over it. So anyways, we are seeing the end of that weather making machine. Once again, I have proven this to be the case, as I have proven it for many, many years now, of how this all evolves and takes place. And there's still so much more that could be added as far as what all is involved in what takes place in the skies. But, getting less and less views, less and less comments, and in my next or upcoming vlog episode, if you will, I am going to go back to the Canon camera in order to record some analytical stats in a reply to a comment that was made, and I just want to prove a couple more things. So if you want to stick around for just a little bit more fun, please do so. Otherwise, at this given point in time, once this gets uploaded and eventually posted, I'm going to go ahead and create a playlist of yesterday's activities and sightings, with this being included as the last segment. But once again, another playlist of proof and evidences to back up my content, regardless of how, very few people are watching my channel anymore, and even less are commenting. And for a influencer, if you will, that is trying to expose realities, it can be quite a blow to the self-esteem, or it can raise you up to further feelings of non-compliancy, rebellion, determination. In essence, it helps you to pull out that strength card. And the more that you understand, the more that you are awakened to the nonsense and distortions of the distortions to this chaos and confusion tactics of today. And again, I'm doing this through what I just spoke of. All this backlashing of shadow banning and blocking my content and so on and so forth just makes me that much more determined to prove what I feel I have to prove in order to help others wake up. So, we'll leave it at that. And I don't mind my sentiments in this recording as being the last recording for, once again, another playlist to where I prove this, that, and the other thing. Stick around and we'll have some more fun pertaining to subscribers, views, and comments. And this will be guided towards one viewer as a response to his comment, and there's nothing bad, okay? It is just more proof in the pudding over the games being played through this platform. So on that note, as always, take care, have yourselves a great one, and maybe you'll swing on back over to this flip side of reality as I continue to do what I do and expose. Thank you ever so kindly for watching. Take care. Have a great one.